Welcome back to Norrath. We're here in the commonlands today, headed towards the city of Freeport. And on the way, we're going to take a look at all the new structures around here there are to see. And then we're going to head all the way over to the Fair Jungle to take a look at a new arena I've constructed over there as well. So we ended the last episode over here, taking a look at the watchtowers, both the larger versions and the smaller ones. We have for the Dominion of the city of Freeport. They, of course, guard important fording points and bridges over the rivers and streams around here. We have to be secure and everything, and this particular stream comes out of a lake over here that's spanned by this aqueduct that heads all the way to Freeport in that direction, which we'll be going to shortly. But as you can see over here, I've started to put in some walls and towers around here because this is not Freeport. It is sort of a outlying satellite settlement, you could say. I haven't put in the gates for it, but I think they should be in the large towers over here and over there. But in medieval style, I have put in my very first survival castle that I ever built. I still have the model hanging around, and I wanted to put it over here in the commonlands. So in the world download, this will all be here for you to explore in the upcoming 1.2 version in a couple of weeks. I'm getting really close to having all of that ready. I just need to record a few more episodes before we get to that. And I think I need to add some flags over here and a little docks area so we can fish on the lake around here. But I have put some houses around here. And we have a little roadway that goes through them. We have our castle keep up there. And presumably we're going to have workshops around here and a tavern and everything. Probably in this building. Be a good place for a tavern. But that is, of course, all fine detail work, which is sort of the last thing I do on my building projects. Because what I will do is I will do a little bit, then leave it, go do something else, come back, add a bit more, and sort of shuffle around. And eventually I will add enough layers of detail, sort of like layers of paint, which will finish off the build. So I think on this build, we're about halfway there. Think of this little village, which I haven't actually named it. Not sure it should be called, what, Lakeshore, Lakeside, Lakeview. Maybe something to do with the lake. But if you have any suggestions for what this should be named, do let me know in the comments. I do need a little help with that. So over here in the commonlands, we are heading towards Freeport. We have the Druid Rings here and another watchtower. Of course, we have travelers coming in and out of the Druid Rings all the time, so we need to have a garrison around here to deal with any potential problems that might cause. And speaking of potential problems, the Dark Elves, of course, inhabit the Nectalos Forest over this mountain ridge, and there are roads that go in and out of Nectalos, and over these road areas over here, I have placed smaller walls and towers. They're sort of like guardian outposts to control the flow of goods and services across the border. So the government of Freeport can, of course, take its taxes and duties at this location. And there are a couple of these that go along the ridge there. I think there's like 2 or 3 of these. This particular one, I think that is actually Kithkor Forest, which has the undead hordes in it that come out at night, so we definitely had to close off that road entrance because we can't have the undead hordes coming into the commonlands. That'd be really bad. Over here, as we're getting closer to the city, there should be another checkpoint. It looks like there's one over there. I thought there was another one around here somewhere. I think I already went past it, but we're coming into the farm fields around here. I still need to do more of these farm fields. This design, well, actually, this design over here needs to be replicated going all the way to the other end, but that is a lot of fine detail work, which I have not yet done. But I have come along and added a large guard tower out here, and you can see another one over there. And there's another smaller one out here, which is just outside the gates of Freeport itself. And I don't remember how many episodes it's been since we have been back to Freeport. This is, of course, for those of you that are new here, this is going to be the world spawn for the map. And it is by far probably the most built out and detailed city I have done so far. And when you load in the world, you will of course spawn right in front of the Paladin Cathedral in this square around here with all the shops and everything around here. And in fact, you spawn in front of this fountain around here. And I have also done a little addition here because in front of the cathedral, whenever you spawn in, you will notice that there is a pressure plate around here. And if you step on it, the time will be 3 o'clock, which is of course being announced by our medieval clock tower we have up here. But if I put the note blocks up in the clock tower itself, you would never hear them. So I put them over there in front of the cathedral entrance proper. So when you load the map, you can step on it and hear the chimes of the day. And also we'll take a quick peek in the cathedral itself. There's not really anything new to see in here, but I think I'm going to make a top layer of this possibly be more glass here in the middle. That's a change I'm thinking about doing in here. And of course, I never want to miss an excuse to go inside the cathedral. The main thing I want to show you over here today in the city itself is going to be all the housing structures that I started to put in. Because what I have done is I have built a few reference models of facing of buildings. Here's one. There's another one over there. And here are two more. They all have sort of different designs, beam spacing, heights, and everything. And what I have done is all along the walls, I have gone in and pasted them in. And this is going to be the foundation for all the medieval buildings we're going to have in the city. These particular ones over here have roofs on them. But as you can tell, I'm going to create even more varied reference models for the tops of these buildings. And then I'm going to come along with MC Edit and paste them in sort of a random and haphazard way. So the end effect, we will have sort of cramped medieval streets with the houses and everything hanging over the streets, and sort of have dark alleys and nooks and crannies alongside of our broad thoroughfares we have going on around here. Let me give you a good sweep around the walls here. We're over here by the Academy of Arcane Sciences and the Iron Bank of Freeport. And we have housing behind those and the cathedral here. It's going to be a nice little residential neighborhood over here. And I have, of course, done this for all the districts of the city of Freeport. I have only done it around the edges, but as you can tell, we have plots in the middle here, which are going to be laid out with even more buildings, but I need to build several more reference models to create those, so I can start pasting those in to finish those. Here's the jousting arena down here. Equestrian statue over there in front of this section of Freeport. And if we go over here, You can see very clearly that I've edged out all the walls around here in the green district. And also around here, I have done it a little bit differently in the seaport area. In this one, I have taken the design that I created to use for the front-facing buildings over here. This little section is complete with its roofs. And you can see this section over here is not. But below them, you can see that we have two sizes of arches. And what I have done is I have copied and pasted those in various configurations down here to cover over the street areas. Because down here, this is sort of like the big warehouse district. All the goods end up being stored along here, along with shops and workshops and everything. But along here, along these streets, I wanted to have them be different than the other three districts. They have a bit more cobblestone on the bottom of those. But we can wander through our street plan around here. And that's really what I wanted to go for with this city. I wanted you to be able to sort of very easily get lost and be not sure where you're at, just like a fantasy medieval city that you would expect. And that is all the updates that I have done over here at Freeport currently. In the future, I need to add some more ships and everything around here whenever I get around to building those models. But you can compare and contrast this with the docks of Quanos, the Roman city, way over there, all the way on the other side of the continent of Antonica. And when I was building this, I thought this was going to be definitely the biggest docks area I was going to do, but I was quite wrong about that. Quanos ended up being quite bigger. I think they're going to be sort of a larger maritime power than Freeport is going to be, just because of the docks infrastructure that they have, and they also have bigger land area and more resources. But they are also rather imperialistic, so Freeport is more of, as you would expect, a sort of a freer, more democratic and republican type of state than the monarchy is of Quanos. So, now that I have shown you a good update of what we've got going on in Freeport, we now need to head back out into the commonlands and to the druid rings that I remarked on, because I want to take you over to the arena and I want to show you how you're going to get there. Because if I just cut with the camera over there, it won't be very apparent, and I kind of hate when people do that, because they never travel through their worlds, so you're never really sure where everything is in relation to each other. So if we go back out here to the druid rings, that's what these green things with the obelisks are, by the way. Druid ring locations. There are, I think, 13 of these druid rings, because they all have 12 button locations on them that take you to various locations in the continents of Antonica, Otis, and Fedor. Let's see, where do we want to go? We want to go to... not there. I think we might want to go to the Barot one, actually. So we will click the button. And as you can see, we've been teleported to a new set of coordinates along with the identical spire design over here. And as you can tell, we are in a very lush jungle. Very overgrown compared to the common lands. And in close proximity to this, somewhere around here, I think it's over here actually, is going to be a zone some of you will be familiar with from EverQuest. And it is called the Arena. And instead of building a Colosseum type structure around here, I actually decided to use something I made that I called Minehenge. But I have repurposed the design down here for Norrath to be used as the arena, because it's a a standing stone circle with a big slab here in the middle. My idea for this is actually going to be a PvP area. So if you want to have a tournament and fight your friends, you would bring them all down here to the Ferrot, to the arena, and you would fight them here in the central arena grounds down here. And of course, we also have some flame lighting effects over here, just for a dramatic effect, really. This is sort of like the tribal council area, you could say, if you're going to be playing Survivor. I imagine this is where you would hold that. Because the Ferrot jungle itself, down here, as you can tell, is rather thinly inhabited, at least with people. It's full of wild beasts and everything. So it's quite dangerous. And I have almost finished doing the detail work on this. I don't know if I'll have time to do it before the download. But on a couple of these, I have added a few more hanging leaf blocks around the sides here on some of the megaliths around here. And I want to do that for all the other ones, just to make it look a little bit more overgrown and everything. I have done the detailing around the bottom, though. That is all complete. But hopefully you approve of what I have done with the arena itself down here. But that's going to be all the time we have for today. Join me next time when we will head back to the city of Erudin, because I have some new structures over there I want to show you, including the Great Library, and also some satellite settlements that I have started to construct over there as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.